and trade. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has said speedy passage of budget process bill will provide the desired policy framework to address the challenges of adequate implementation of the annual budget to engender national development. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that this is contained in a message to the National Summit on Inter-Party Relations and Budget Process Reforms in Abuja.
Represented by the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, President Buhari attributed the progress made so far by his administration to the existing cooperation between the executive and the legislature. The president solicited more consultations amongst organs of government to further solidify Nigeria's democracy, to enhance economic growth and good governance.
I am truly delighted by the ongoing efforts of the National Assembly in pushing for a reform in our budgetary process to improve transparency, accountability, professionalism, greater citizen participation, and adherence to strict guidelines and timelines.
Speaker Yakubu Dogara emphasized efforts by the National Assembly towards budget law reforms to addressing lapses in the budgetary system, improve oversight, as well as build capacity of personnel handling budget processes.
The National Assembly has been at the forefront of advocating for a series of reforms of the budgetary process. In the House of Representatives, we have shown our commitment to ensuring that the procedure and process of considering and passage of the 2017 budget was transparent, inclusive, and professional. For the very first time in the history of the Nigerian legislature, there was even a public hearing on the 2017 budget.
Other speakers lauded the initiative and urged participants to take advantage of the summit to proffer solutions to some issues of disagreement.
We have a great opportunity to develop interparliamentary and inter-party relations, not only between Nigerians, but also doing bridge building between Nigeria and the European Union.
Participants are expected to brainstorm on ways of solving issues on legislative-executive relations, share political experiences, especially with the European Union Parliament, and develop legislative agenda at various levels of government. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The Senate at Wednesday's plenary considered the interim report of the committees on customs, excise and tariffs and marine transport. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports that the senator representing Imo West Senatorial District, Hope Uzodinma, presented the report with respect to a motion on the urgent need to examine the operations of the Nigerian Customs Service revenue drive.
The committee immediately identified the following leakage channels as the major sources of revenue losses in the import and export value chain. Undervaluation due to low ex-factory price, reduction in quantity or false description of goods, wrong tariff classification, misuse of procedure codes, abuse of waivers and concessions.
I believe what they've done the 8th Senate proud. And we should point that out and then give them the time to go and complete the work.
If this committee will be able to recover funds for the government, I think it's be something that will be commendable. And I will recommend to other committees to ensure that we avoid unnecessary leakages in our system and ensure that we improve our revenue base for the overall interest of the country.
The lawmakers adopted a motion to give the committee further 8 weeks to conclude findings. Several petitions bordering on non-payment of entitlements, pension and gratuities, and wrong terminations of employments have also been considered. Details of full plenary in subsequent bulletin. And the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill for an act to prohibit and protect persons from lynching or unlawful killing by mob action. Ignatius Nkwo has more details on this bill and other issues from the Green Chamber.
There have been reported cases of mob action across Nigeria some of them resulted in deaths. A good example of one is the one that took place in Alu, River State, where 4 students of University of Port Harcourt were lynched to death. And then, as a matter of fact, the National Assembly says this is against the spirit of the law, and therefore are considering a bill that seeks to criminalize jungle justice. Representative Ali Nasir Ahmed from Kano State is one of the members that spoke in favor of that bill. What actually do we hope that bill will address in this country?
Well, thank you very much. It's very simple. Number one, the law is very clear. It says you are innocent until proven guilty. So where you have a situation where we have unlawful killings and lynchings, I believe it's not something that will augur well for this country. We believe, like I said, there is a law, and this law says you must be proven guilty before anything. You are assumed to be innocent. So there is a bill now that has scaled second reading, and we believe that it will go through, it will pass, because every member supports it too.
All right, we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Right. Well, another bill came on the floor today's plenary. Is a bill by the Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Representative Abdulrazak Namdaz, who is calling for the payment of compensation to poultry farmers in Nigeria who lost their birds during the avian influenza epidemics, that is popularly known as bird flu. He's here to tell us a little bit on what that his motion also seeks to achieve.
Now, government has agreed, because the poultry farmers of Nigeria met with Professor Osibanjo, who was then the acting president, and agreed and directed the Federal Ministry of Finance and Agriculture to liaise and pay these people. Up to now, these people have not been paid.
Thank you very much for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The legislators also passed for second reading a bill that seeks to amend the National Open Universities Commission, which seeks to include information communication technology in its program as a way of alternative source of income to enhance tertiary education in Nigeria. Well, it's also significant to know that the legislators also resolved to investigate the termination of contract between the Nigerian Port Authority and Intel's Nigeria Limited. It's now back to the studio.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Reports just reaching us say security operatives have succeeded in freeing the Lokoja-Abuja road for vehicular movement after several hours of blockage. The road was said to have been blocked by drivers of articulated vehicles in protest over the killing of one of their members by unknown persons. Details of the report will come in our subsequent bulletin. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Fake drugs imports falls into NAFDAC net. Details from Lagos Network Center with Jennifer Asagad. Jennifer, it's over to you.
Yeah, now the story of NAFDAC arrest of fake product importers will come in a subsequent bulletin. Now, Nigeria and Ghana have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop capacity and enhance regional integration between the two countries. The MOU, which is for a period of 4 years, was signed by Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency and the Ghana Maritime Authority.
This
journalism to sharpen the skills of media practitioners in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakboya, who was a participant at the workshop, reports that the gesture is part of the U.S. Consulate Corporate Social Responsibility to assist Nigerian media practitioners deliver better reports.
25 Nigerian journalists drawn from the broadcast and print media attended the workshop. Addressing participants, the United States Consul General in Nigeria, John Bray, said good journalism shapes public knowledge on key social issues, and as such, it is important for reporters to acquire cutting-edge skills.
As reporters, you aren't just gathering and issuing reports. You set the public agenda by what you publish.
One of the mission's premier goals is to increase good governance, accountability, transparency, In order to do that, a strong, vibrant media is necessary.
Voice of America's Jeffrey Young and Kathleen Stroke took turns to expose participants to tips on investigative journalism, data mining, tools for media fact-checking, and the use of mobile devices for news gathering and reporting.
How we can expand our social media reach, and as journalists, we're really entrepreneurs. We're trying to build audience.
Data journalism isn't so much the mechanics of showing you an Excel spreadsheet. It's a matter of tuning your state of mind so that when you see numbers, your brain analyzes.
Participants had this to say at the end of the training.
These tips that we have learned, if we do apply them to our stories and how we go about them, I think we'll be unearthing more stories than we used to.
The training is one of the United States government's initiative to build media capacity in Nigeria. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTA News.
Now back to our earlier story on the Memorandum of Understanding signed. Nigeria and Ghana have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to develop capacity and enhance regional integration between the two countries. The MOU, which is for a period of 4 years, was signed by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency and the Ghana Maritime Authority.
This Memorandum of Understanding between the two countries is aimed at developing and strengthening capacities to boost maritime activities within the African continent. NIMASA's Director General, who signed on behalf of Nigeria, said such collaboration will promote scientific and technical cooperation, trade and exchange of information.
The fourth section of this MOU set out in details what we'll be doing in the area of knowledge transfer and sharing, the areas of joint capacity building initiatives, cabotage enforcement joint study initiative, joint comparative research initiatives, and anti-piracy / terrorism initiatives.
Director General of Ghana Maritime Authority, Kwama Owusu, commended NIMASA for championing the growth of the sector, adding that such cooperation will bring about constructive and healthy competition within the West African sub-region. The signing of the MOU is a follow-up to a visit by Ghana Maritime Authority to Nigeria earlier in the year on a fact-finding mission.
It was not business as usual for an importer of adulterated insecticide as a long arm of the law caught up with him at his warehouse in Amuwo-Odofin, Lagos. The suspect, who was paraded by NAFDAC, was said to have been on the wanted list of the agency for more than 2 years. Musa Toliat has the details.
40-foot container comprising more than 2,000 various brands of adulterated insecticides was seized from the suspect's warehouse. The value of the seizure is put at 50 million naira. The suspect, Obunneme Okpala, is said to have been arrested after the enforcement team of NAFDAC mounted a surveillance on his warehouse based on a tip-off from a whistleblower.
We apologize for the poor audio in that report. Now, those are the stories from Lagos at this hour. Back to Lydia in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Jennifer. The issue of monkeypox featured prominently at the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Jide Onifade reports that the Minister of Health also cleared the air on the military medical outreach.
Council received an update on the state of public health of the nation, especially the outbreak of monkeypox.
So far, as of today, there are 74 suspected cases in 11 states of the country. We have confirmed 3 in Bayelsa State, and 12 of the suspected cases from Bayelsa tested negative. 4 suspected cases from Lagos tested negative. We are still expecting the results of the other ones. We are also doing advanced tests in Nede, that's at the African Center of Excellence for Genomics and Infectious Disease, to really understand the genomics of this virus. Even when they are negative, the laboratory attendant should be able to tell us what exactly they are. And we will also be able to locate and identify the origin. so that we can take adequate precaution.
Urging the general public to ignore the rumor of military carrying out vaccination exercises. The minister says the Ministry of Health only works in conjunction with states.
The military is not involved in any vaccination exercise. So the rumor that Federal is doing vaccination campaign is not true. And as of today, we are only doing vaccination campaign in 3 states. We are doing vaccination campaign against yellow fever in Kwara and Kogi because of yellow fever outbreak in some parts of the country. We are also doing cholera vaccination in Borno State.
Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu got his memo approved for the completion of inherited irrigation projects.
After we mobilized to site, I found out that a lot of components of the irrigation project had been vandalized, and for us to be able to put that project into effective use, we now have to do those rehabilitation works, and we therefore brought a memo seeking council to give us an augmentation of about 236.5 million.
But there is still the urgent need to be adopted as available facilities are now stretched to limit. Such needs as urgent recruitment of epidemiologists and microbiologists. In addition, the institution of a public health emergency fund domiciled in the presidency to handle these outbreaks is also being recommended. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Thanks, Jide. Meanwhile, the outbreak of monkeypox has continued to generate concerns with experts on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, pointing ways forward in terms of solution to the current cases and prevention of future occurrences. Victor Azu reports.
The monkeypox outbreak was recorded in Bayelsa State, then rumored in some other parts of the country. However, the National Coordinator of Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazo, says only 3 cases have been confirmed at the moment and called on Nigerians not to panic. He advised state governments to upgrade health facilities in the states to enable them combat epidemics when they break.
I really ask every state governor to call his commissioner for health, ask him about their state public health department and their state epidemiologists, and if they have the resources to do the work they're doing. We from Abuja cannot go to local governments in Bayelsa, in Sokoto, in Maiduguri to look for cases. We are completely reliant on the expertise at the local government and state level, and then we support them from here.
If not well managed, it will spread, and of course from few numbers to large numbers, and from no death to many deaths. That's a possibility. However, we would also need to caution that people don't become panic unnecessarily. If you suspect a case, report it. Let it be investigated. That does not necessarily mean that your suspect is correct. It just means that you are being cautious.
In the meantime, the Commissioner of Health in Bayelsa State says the government is on top of the situation and called for calm.
We have a rapid response team, and the teams are been into all those communities, and we've been doing awareness and sensitization campaigns, both on the media and even sending people who are on the ground. And I think the fears of the communities have been allayed, and I think everybody is calm, and they are following instructions that have been given by the State Ministry of Health in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and other affiliate bodies.
The guests advised Nigerians to always take health awareness campaigns serious and obey instructions from health managers. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Away from monkeypox now. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has commended Nigerian journalists for their commitment towards ensuring the development of the country. He stated this in an interview with journalists after a closed-door meeting with former military President Ibrahim Babangida at his hilltop residence in Minna. Mary Noel Baje reports.
Goodluck Jonathan, who met with General Ibrahim Babangida for over 2 hours, said he will continue to encourage journalists in whatever way possible to achieve results. The former president said, as information managers, journalists require the support of every Nigerian.
Let us encourage you for what you are doing in this country. Thank you for the good work you are doing.
He explained that he was on a private visit to General Ibrahim Babangida, who returned to the country a few weeks ago after medical treatment abroad. He assured Nigerians of their continued support towards ensuring peace and unity in the country. Mary Napapshi, NTA News.
Let's now pause for a break. Nationwide continues shortly. Stay with us.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Now, you can hold that dream occasion without stress. Horizon Caterers will provide answers to all your catering questions. Exquisite hall designs, mouth-watering and nourishing local and continental cuisine, suitable for all types of ceremonies, including weddings, AGMs, business luncheon, cocktails. Name it, we can bring it. Our chefs and executive waiters give your guests that unforgettable experience in service. Our service covers all states of the Federation. Call us today to book your occasions. 0805-502-9637, 0803-450-9726, 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers. Experience catering beyond the horizon.
Oka, I don't watch the whole car. Oka, I don't. Oka, 500 naira me. Oka, you don't inspire my life.
Adamu, which kind magic 500 naira won't do? Did even reach you to take carry me comot safe?
Now go there. But he reached me to enter draw to meet with Dangote one-on-one.
With the FGNI app and just 500 naira, you stand a chance to meet one-on-one with Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. As the Be Inspired meetings gives Nigerians a chance to meet one-on-one with icons. To qualify for the draw, download FGNI app from Apple Store or Google Play Store. Go to the Be Inspired section and follow the instructions. Cost of travel and accommodation of all winners within Nigeria will be borne by the organizers.
Entries close at midnight on Sunday, 12th of November, 2017.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. It's still Nationwide. Thank you for being there. A news magazine designed to project the change agenda and vision of President Muhammadu Buhari has been unveiled in Abuja. Wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Osinbajo, presented the magazine to the public on behalf of the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, commending the contributions of journalists to national development. Victor Azu reports.
These arrivals signal support for a novel idea in Nigeria's journalism. The event is the anniversary lecture and public presentation of the Presidential Diary magazine, a document which chronicles policies and programs of the Buhari administration. The arrival of the wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Osinbajo, to represent the wife of the President sparked the event to life. Mrs. Osinbajo, while unveiling the magazine, applauded the invaluable contributions of Nigerian journalists to democracy.
From today, I just want you to know how much we all rely on you and how much we all depend on you, how much you are the ones that can pass on the information that can bring gladness to the hearts of people.
Presenting the anniversary lecture titled Citizen Participation in Nation Building, Democracy and Development, former Commissioner for Information in Edo State, Kasim Afebwa, noted that Nigeria's democratic institutions need to be strengthened so as to make it more effective.
We need to begin to interrogate the processes that midwife any democratic engagement to ensure that the final outcome meets the basic requirements of credible, free and fair election.
I've identified a yawning gap, information gap between the government and the citizenry. And to that extent, the Presidential Diary magazine came as a deliberate effort to bridge that gap.
The magazine is a monthly publication. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Civil society organizations on tobacco control research are accusing tobacco companies of enticing school children to smoke. Result of survey to that effect was presented to the public in Abuja. Chimdimandu BC reports.
Tobacco is said to be a major cause of preventable non-communicable diseases, with projections that it will be the leading single cause of death by 2020, especially in low and middle income countries, seen as untapped market by tobacco companies. Recently, the Nigerian Tobacco Control Research Group and Environmental Rights Action, in collaboration with African Tobacco Control Alliance, carried out a survey on 221 primary and secondary schools across the country and discovered that tobacco companies are strategically targeting school children in order to sustain the market. 87% of these schools have branded tobacco kiosks located within 100 meters of their compounds or along school routes.
What we also found out is that tobacco products were placed in the same place with biscuits and sweets, which makes it so easy for children to access these tobacco products.
The revelation has prompted many groups and student unions to call for action.
We want the federal government to begin immediate enforcement of a ban of the sales of cigarette products 200 meters near schools and educational premises.
We also urge for the speedy development and approval of regulations for the full implementation of the NTC Act. This will ensure that our children are protected.
The advocacy is now on for parents, education authorities and professional groups to increase surveillance on school children to prevent them from being addicted to tobacco. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide. People from Rian Barkinladi in Jos, the Plateau State capital, decry deplorable condition of road. Ruth in Jos Network Center is standing by for details of this and more from that zone. Ruth, take it from here.
Lydia, good evening and welcome to Jos. Member representing Barkinladi Riom Federal Constituency, Estefanus Dungyang, has called for the dualization of the Vormanchok Road, considering its economic importance. Ndiang and Debagyang reports.
Over the years has become a major link with Abuja. However, the road has become a nightmare, necessitating the member House of Representatives, Estefanus Dungyang, to take an on-the-spot assessment of the road. At Danto village, where the road is worse, the member decried the deplorable state of the road, which he noted is affecting the socio-economic life of the community, Plateau State, and some neighboring towns in Kaduna State.
I'm even calling for the dualization of this road right from Nips, from Kuru, along from Vom down to Abuja. This is what we'll say because the volume of traffic on this road is very high.
He further disclosed that as part of his constituency project, plans have been concluded to build an ultra-modern market for the community.
This community, in my community, in this constituency, is a major rice and acha producing community, and this market will enable people to be coming instead of we taking the product out.
While in Ganawuri, Mr. Gyang met with the Ata-Atem of Ganawuri, His Royal Highness Yakubu Chaimang, where the royal father called on relevant authorities to take steps to to repair the road.
We've told the contractor, we've told FEMA, and they've promised that they were coming down to come and see the road and to make sure that they make any amends that were required. But we have not seen anyone.
Thereafter, he addressed some residents of the community and solicited their support, urging them to live in peace and promised to continue to deliver on his mandate. In Jos, Indenyan and the Abajang, NTA.
To encourage young Nigerians take up career in the aviation industry, secondary school students were mentored on the various fields in the industry. This was at the maiden edition of the Aviation and Aerospace Conference put together by a Badge B Youth Corps member serving in Jos South local government area of Plateau State. Priscilla Gumnan has the details.
This assembly of young people are drawn from 25 schools within Jos to be mentored on believing and living their dreams of not only becoming pilots but exploring other professional fields in the aviation industry. Various inspirational speakers took turns to encourage the young people to let their dreams drive their vision and passion.
Controlling the aviation industry professors asking attention not given to the younger generation to take up this industry, no matter what happens. And I trust the aviation industry will remain in the next 100 years.
Goals are planned. They don't come out of mistakes, they don't come out of wishful thinking. They're intentional. The sky is not the limit, right? The sky is my take-off ground. The sky is my take-off ground. So where I am right now is my sky, meaning I'm ready to take off.
An air traffic controller with the Jos Airport, Sunday Millaham, educated the students on the different career progressions in the aviation industry. The young children were left to ponder on the quote by Zig Ziglar, "Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you will see farther." In Jos, Priscilla Gumnan, NTA News.
Participants at the 31st Quranic recitation competition in Jos have been charged to put into practice the teachings of the Holy Quran in their daily life to bring positive changes to society. This was the thrust of messages delivered at the opening ceremony of the Jos North 2017 Quranic recitation competition organized by the Jamaat al-Nasr Islam, holding at the Jos Central Mosque. Abba Abubakar Yakubu has more.
This annual event is organized to encourage young Quranic reciters and memorizers in order to have a better understanding of its lessons and benefit from abundant blessings and favors promised by Allah to Quranic reciters. Guest speaker Dr. Rashid Abdul Ghaniyu of the Gombe State University said that Quranic memorizers have a special position in the sight of Allah as they are the light bearers of Islam.
They shouldn't concentrate only on teaching them the Quran without enabling them to know what it contains. So it requires a lot of effort.
Imam of Sultan Bello Mosque, Kaduna, Sheikh Muhammad Suleiman Adam called on parents and teachers to guide students on ethical values and social behaviors so that they will become good citizens. Chairman of Jos North Local Government Council, Mr. Philip Izan Inyam, was optimistic that such lessons will help in making young Muslims better persons. He solicited the support of the Jos Muslim community at ensuring a peaceful conduct of forthcoming local government elections.
We should be able to remain peaceful so that we have a peaceful environment for the conduct of the election. And I know the good people of Jos North Local Government will yield to that call.
Messages of unity and peace were stressed by other speakers who maintained that brotherliness among the Muslims is key to their success. In Jos, Abba Abubakar Yakubu, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. It's back to you, Lydia.
Many thanks, Ruth. The military and civil authorities have been commended for concerted efforts in tackling insurgency and de-radicalization. Talatu Ezerike reports that this was standpoint of discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live.
Nigeria, like many countries in the globe, is faced with challenges of insecurity that is being tackled head-on with yielded results.
The government of Nigeria today has done so much in the area of curbing terrorism.
The next line of action is de-radicalization, having won the fight against insurgency. This the military has started through its civil-military relationship counter-narrative initiative, Operation Lafia Dole, to tackle insurgency and promote peaceful coexistence.
This is the period of stabilization. It is very important that we ensure that these activities, these non-kinetic activities, this reorientation, it is monitored, it is checked, and to ensure that we achieve the peace we're looking for.
We must make sure we play our role properly, not just supporting them, but doing what is right in order to make the society safe.
It is there in the Quran and in the Bible, the teachings that if we teach our tenants, if we teach our people the way of God, things will be okay for us.
For many others, there is the need to address the root cause of insurgency and promote right ideology.
These insurgents are indoctrinated and brainwashed. So it is proper to fight the mind and the ideologies.
We should come together to eradicate this act of terrorism. Why? In what processes we should, encourage our youth, to boost our economy. We encourage them to go to agriculture. We have enough land. Our Chad Basin area can feed the whole West Africa.
We appreciate the government, the kind of work they are doing now. For example, if you look at from the north now, an average person can cater for his family, cater for his people without thinking to go and meet anybody, because their Greek business is now bringing so much money. I think the government should do more, so they will not have time for anybody that is inviting them to anything that is wrong.
It is generally agreed that the counter-narrative initiative Operation Lafia Dole falls in line with the Charter of the United Nations Plans of Action for Preventing Violent Extremism. And analysts say the military are professionals, neutral and law-abiding to rules of engagement in any conflict. Talati Ezerike, NTA News.
Up ahead, Navy launches exercise Pouncer in Port Harcourt. These and more after these short messages. Do stay.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the Made in Nigeria campaign. In the midst of unprecedented multiple challenges, our great country Nigeria, as Africa's largest economy, is surely marching on to a new era of all-round prosperity, especially through re-engineered and diversified economy, powerfully driven by the change agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR.
We will patronize local entrepreneurs. We will promote the manufacturing powerhouses. Our objective is to make Nigeria a new manufacturing hub.
It is not time to complain. It is time to join the campaign. It is time for economic recovery, growth and diversification of our economy by Made in Nigeria.
The Coastal Week.
7 captivating events, 7 special venues over 7 days. 777.
The Coastal Week.
Music everywhere across the city.
The Coastal Week.
Happiness everywhere across the land.
The Coastal Week.
October 29 to November 4, 2017.
The Coastal Week.
Scintillating, spectacular, incredible.
The Coastal Week.
Don't miss the fun. October 29 to November 4, 2017. Brought to you by Kosan. Let the music pay in association with Tops, the entertainment headquarters.
So wish me well. Just wish me well.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped. We are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism and other criminal activities. Be productive, be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
The search for the 2017 WSCIJ Investigative Journalist of the Year is on. Are you a Nigerian journalist or a team of journalists with investigative stories on themes from regulatory failures, corruption in the public or corporate sphere, and human rights abuses in the country? The Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism invites you to submit entries for the 12th Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. Categories include prints, radio, television, photo, online, and editorial cartoon. Submission deadline Tuesday 24th October 2017 by 4 p.m. Winners will receive prizes in cash and kind worth 1 million naira. For the full award criteria and other information, please visit wscij.org or call 0908-251-5179. Investigative reporting is the vital force for the restoration of human dignity. Wole Soyinka.
Welcome back. It's still nationwide. Thank you for your time. Voice of Nigeria set to begin operations in Sokoto. These and other stories from that zone with Aisha. Over to you, Aisha.
Well, thank you, Lydia, and thank you everyone for joining us. Welcome to the seat of the Caliphate. As Sokoto State joins in the celebration of World Egg Day, pregnant mothers have been enjoined to imbibe the culture of taking eggs as food supplements so as to have healthy babies as delivery period. This was the view of Sokoto State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Balarabe Shehu Kakale, as part of activities marking World Egg Day. Muhammad Nasser completes the story.
World Egg Day is celebrated second week of October every year. The day is a unique opportunity to create awareness on the importance of egg to the body. Egg has played a vital role in feeding families and also an excellent source of kaolin, which is essential in memory and brain development. Egg also has a role to play in disease protection and contribute to the well-being of human life. Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Balarabe Shehu Kakale, and Chairman Poultry Association of Nigeria Sokoto Sub-Branch, Dr. Bello Alkali, underscore the significance of eggs as a food supplement which provides nutrients for brain functions and general growth and development of the body. They urge husbands to ensure that their pregnant wives take egg regularly for the development of the child and the mother. Commissioner Ministry for Animal Health and Fisheries Development, represented by Dr. Adamu Abdul Qadir, and Director General Poultry Development Agency Ladan Balarabe, said Sokoto State Government is making effort to make feed mill, incubator and hatching machines available for poultry farmers in the state. Other speakers at the occasion include Provost, College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Wurno, Professor Aminu Abubakar, and Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Usman Nampoli University, Sokoto, Professor Magaji, as well as representatives of various poultry associations and poultry pits in Sokoto State. The occasion featured presentation of eggs to patients in Mariam Abacha Women and Children Hospital, students of Abdul Rashid Adisa Raji Special School, and Sokoto Orphanage. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Sokoto State Government has donated an office complex to the Voice of Nigeria for its smooth takeoff in the state. Shehu Muhammad Detti has the report.
Presenting the office to the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, State Commissioner of Information Abdulkadir Abubakar Disad said the decision to provide the office complex is in line with the policy of government to ensure adequate and reliable information flow to the public. He expressed the hope that the presence of Voice of Nigeria in the state will contribute meaningfully to the adequate and positive dissemination of information to the public across the state. Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Mr. Osita Okechukwu, thanked the state government for the gesture and promised to do everything possible to achieve the goals of the Voice of Nigeria to the people of Sokoto State.
Our major function is to promote and defend the image of Nigeria and the foreign policy therein. And we believe sincerely that Nigeria is advancing more than is being reported. And this is what we have taken upon ourselves in the Voice of Nigeria to do for the country.
He appealed to the journalists and media house owners to always report facts for the development of the country. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Well, that does it for us here in Sokoto. It's back to Lydia in Abuja for the rest of the news. Thanks.
Thank you, Nana Aisha. The Nigerian Navy Eastern Command has flagged off exercise Pouncer aimed at building capacity among the naval personnel and strengthening maritime security of the zone. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the flag officer commanding the Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Victor Adedipe, performed the flag of exercise at One, River State.
The third Quarter Eastern Naval Sea Exercise is a routine event geared towards advancing and enhancing competence and capacity of Nigerian naval officials, while also providing security for the nation's economic resources within the domain. Participants will undergo training in seamanship, navigation, shooting, and rescue operations in line with the mandate of the Nigerian Navy to the nation's security.
And very shortly with lieutenants, thank God.
The flag officer commanding Eastern Naval Command said the operation will also help send signals to criminals of the Nigerian Navy's dominance in the maritime sector.
Exercise Pouncer 2017. The essence of the exercise itself is to train the personnel and then work up the equipment, the ship and the helicopters that will be involved in the operation itself.
The exercise, which will last from the 17th to 19th October 2017, will have 4 ships deployed for the operation. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Still on security, the Nigeria Police Force is re-strategizing on its crime-fighting measures through reinforced personnel and logistics in conformity with the rule of law and international best practices. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris made this known at the monthly conference with top police officers in Abuja. Olajide Bello has that.
The Inspector General of Police monthly conference is an avenue to analyze the police force activities, identify challenges and provide solutions for effectiveness. Illegal deployments of special units of the force, protection of officers and men, and visibility policing at flashpoints to beef up security were some of the issues discussed.
The debt benefit of 2014 has already been settled. This year, a total of 3,750 billion naira was released for payments at a total of 1,285 days of kings of deceased police personnel have been screened for payments.
The Inspector General of Police also speaks on the forthcoming November 18 governorship elections in Anambra State.
Because it's going to be a massive deployment. Anywhere you search some mistakes or areas you feel you can assist, you can send to us just to assist us so that we can have this deployment very fast. 30 days from now. I think that there is always adequate for us to make preparations. And I think it's very important for us to prepare so that we can provide personnel and logistics for the officers who are deployed to enable them to perform creditably.
The police also welcomed the passage of the anti-kidnapping and police trust fund bills by the National Assembly. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And from Gombe, over 3,000 people have been paid 10,000 naira each under the Social Investment Program of Buhari administration. Correspondent Emmanuel Akila reports that poorest of the poor will pay 2 months' allowance by cash transfer office.
The Social Investment Program of the Buhari administration is designed to fulfill the APC campaign promise of eradicating poverty in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari had said, poorest of the poor households will be given 5,000 naira monthly. The payment of 10,000 naira to the beneficiaries in 3 local government areas of Gombe State is for the months of August and September. Focal person of the cash transfer unit in Gombe State, Mariam Isa Mele, said The monthly payment of 5,000 naira will continue for 2 years.
You will be receiving 5,000 each month up to 2019. Yes, because the program, all the programs under social investment is 2 years.
The disbursement of cash to the beneficiaries was appreciated by the pilot local government areas, saying it will improve the economic condition of the entire people of the state via small investment by the beneficiaries.
I'm assuring the president by next year, we will call them. You will see the achievement. You see them now. Even the clothes they are wearing. You will know they are foreign people.
Those who received their cash were happy and thankful to President Muhammadu Buhari for keeping to his word. $3,212 people will be paid 32,120,000 naira. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
News across the globe is next, and Obiageli Ugoke is our guide.
Hello and welcome to this segment of the news. A senior member of Kenya's Electoral Commission, Roslyn Akombe, has resigned from poll agency. Akombe said repeat election as planned cannot meet basic expectations of credible election, and she does not want to be a party to such a mockery to electoral integrity. She further explains that she fled to New York for safety after a series of threats to her life. Last week, opposition leader Raila Odinga pulled out of 26th October presidential runoff, and the Supreme Court had earlier annulled the results of August 8 poll after finding irregularities. As China begins its communist meeting, President Xi Jinping says China has entered a new era where it should take center stage in global affairs. He told the Communist Party Congress that the country's rapid progress under socialism shows there is a new choice for other countries. The party is expected to unveil new members of China's top decision-making body at the end of the summit. The Congress, which takes place once every 5 years, will finish on Tuesday next week. In Ukraine, 4 people have been injured in clashes between riot police and demonstrators demanding major reforms in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The protesters are insisting on creation of an anti-corruption court, changes to the electoral system, and president's resignation. They vow to continue until their demands are met. And U.S. President Donald Trump's latest bid to impose travel restrictions on citizens from 8 countries entering the U.S. has suffered another setback. A federal judge slapped a temporary restraining order on the ban before it could take effect this week. The State of Hawaii argued in court that President Trump has no power under federal immigration law to impose such restriction. And that concludes this package. Thanks for being there.
And now sports. Super Eagles to camp in Morocco ahead of World Cup qualifier against Algeria next month as Rafael Nadal pulls out of Swiss indoors. Details on sports update with Kene Emagbodike.